Hi, Virgos. Um, I hope everybody is doing well. It's so funny because I'm trying to do the readings. I'm doing the readings in order of the signs, starting with the sign that's having the birthday month and so on and so forth. So it's kind of a new thing that I'm doing, trying it out, which is interesting because typically I do the signs by the way that I feel, or I start, when the sign needs it the most. And I have been wanting to do the Virgo reading for days. But I knew that it wasn't time yet. And the second I got the Leo reading done this morning, I was like starting to already feel our energy, and it was coming on pretty strong. And I'm like, there's no way I'm going to be able to work today and get personal readings done until I get the Virgo reading out, because you guys need it today. So what I want to talk about is what has happened in the last year to 2 years. Virgos have been doing like an inside out cleanse. A lot of purging is happening. Like lives are changing. And it's not even in a small way. Like it is very apparent the way a Virgo's life has changed, especially in the last year. Things moving very fast. It's like the universe said, no, it's time for the teachers to come out and speak. And it's time for you guys to start learning about what you need to speak about, because we need you to talk now. We need Virgos to come out and no longer just be on the sideline and taking care of everybody. We need to put you out here. I have learned that about myself, but I don't want to make this reading about myself, because the feeling that I get from you guys is June is now, because we have been forced to sit for so long, and then we would have a moment where we got to like break free for a little bit and start, when all the planets went direct at the beginning of this year, it was like go, go, go time for Virgo, right? And so we started to go, and then we were forced to sit again. And part of me really wants to say that if you're still the Virgo that is in that phase where you're not really quite sure what side you want to like work with, and like, who are my people and what's going on, if you're still feeling very tired, if you're still feeling like you're unsure, if you're still feeling like you're not exactly in the place that you want to be in, listen to that, because we have 6 more days left of May, and then coming into June is going to be a very big month of decisions for Virgos. June is going to be the month where it's like that make it or break it. Who is coming on my journey with me? And who am I going to have to either leave behind, or who am I going to have to walk away from for a while? Who is blocking my path? And who's bringing out my light? Because we can't sit anymore. And it's very interesting that June is that month that's happening. And it's almost like a preparation game. Like June is kind of the deciding factor. And then in July, things really start to explode. But we're not there yet. Let's just do one thing at a time, right? We like to future plan. We like to look at the future. But let's look at the first 15 days in June, and maybe towards the end of June too. Let's not get too far ahead of ourselves, because I know that the feeling that I have inside for you guys right now is that you're just getting like, some of you aren't quite ready and prepared for the push forward. Some of you might still have some blockages in your life that really need to be cleared out, and you have to like seriously discern what is going to be the best for you. But there's this new energy for a Virgo where life is about to get bright and fun again. And I don't want you to be, if you're a Virgo that's not really quite feeling that, I don't want you to be left because you have with Virgos, we are very loyal. And if we feel like we haven't finished our journey with somebody, we will stick with that person until, we finish the journey with them. And sometimes it's like, but you got to think about your journey too. And I really think that June is kind of that month where you have to think about your journey. And you have to think about what matters the most in your Virgo existence, right? So let's see. And if somebody wants to timestamp, because I know a lot of people don't like how I talk at the beginning of videos, which is, I do not get offended by it. But if somebody wants to timestamp when I start shuffling, please do so. So, the life and times of a Virgo, right? It's been hairy, to say the least. It's been, torn inside out. And that feeling of, it's so funny, I saw that card while I was shuffling, and I'm like, that one's coming out. There you go. I mean, I can't make this shit up. I can't make it up. The Wheel of Fortune and the Hermit. Bam. I can't make it up. Sometimes I scare myself. The Wheel of Fortune is all about divine timing, but we have to do the work for the wheel to turn, for the universe to say, okay, it's time for the wheel to turn. It's time to turn in your favor. You have to do the work. You can't just sit idly by and wait for people, you know, like if the universe is pushing somebody out of your life, man, let it happen. Let it happen. Because that person or idea of a person will stop you. Yeah, some of you are still very comfortably stuck, needing to make a decision. Two of Wands. Needing to make a decision, but not quite sure what decision to make. The Two of Wands is comfortably stuck in this deck for me because one foot is tied to one wand, one hand is tied to the other, and he's talking to a happy bird there, just chattering away. But if he doesn't make a decision soon, he's going to have to find a bathroom. I mean, I would get hungry. Like, I would be thinking of food. I wouldn't be talking to a bird. I would be thinking of food. And then the Seven of Cups. So if you're still feeling stuck because you're so unsure of the future, it's funny, the Seven of Cups came out in the Leo reading as well. So if you're, and so did the Wheel of Fortune, if you're feeling stuck because you're so unsure of your future, fear, somebody really smart said this to me this week. Fear is a great motivator. But sometimes fear is something that can paralyze you. Fear of the unknown. I have a thing with the fear of the unknown. I don't let it exist. Yes, I do become afraid. Yes, I do get scared. But when it comes down to it, why worry about something that hasn't happened yet? Because honestly, you can make it go either way. It is totally up to you how your future goes. People don't realize that. They think that this is just all happening. Whoa, I was hoping that card would not fly out, or fly off the table, but it did. If you are afraid of moving forward because you don't know if you're going to lose someone, or you don't know if you're going to be good at the job, or you don't know how, you know, the event is going to go, or how the, you know, your whatever the project, the person, you don't know if you're going to be able to buy the house, or, you know, whatever it is in your life that you are unsure of right now, that's keeping you sitting still, be rest assured. Ooh, you guys, 9 of Pentacles. Rest assured, it's all coming to you. There is no need to worry about what's coming up in the future so much, because you already got it in the bag. It's already coming to you. If you don't move in June, it will take a lot longer for this wheel to turn. If you sit in the Two of Wands state and don't Like, don't be wishy-washy, you know, with your decision making. If you don't decide where your life is leading you, not what somebody else is doing in their life that's going to help lead you, because it doesn't matter anymore. This person is by themselves. And yes, this person looked really sad while they're by themselves, but the abundance that a Virgo can get on their own is tremendous. And sometimes we don't recognize that because we really do put a lot of faith in other people. We think that if we teach other people, if we move other people, if we, you know, push other people to, you know, heal and do what they're supposed to do, that's what defines our movement. And that's just not true. It's just simply not true. We have the own fortitude to do it ourselves. And that is what the hermit is. We are the hermit because we know when it's time to retreat and recalibrate after putting so much energy out into the world. And it's like, no, now I need to sit back for a minute and really confront the things that I have to do in my life. The moon. So Pisces, could be Cancer or Scorpio as well, but the moon is all about seeing the unknown within the unknown. Seeing through, like the hermit can see in the dark with the moon present and that little light. Virgos are really good at working with the unknown. And so when you are a Virgo that is afraid because you can't see what's happening in front of you, don't look at things so big. Right? Because the unknown is blocking you right now. 7 of Wands. The fear of what hasn't come to light, what you're not quite sure of yet, is blocking you because you put this defense up where you're like, I don't know about that. It's kind of scary. You know, Virgo likes to know. We like to plan. We like to see things clearly. How about thinking of it differently? Because when you look at stuff not so far out into the future, like the 7 of Cups, it's like, oh, it's so fuzzy. Bring that 7 of Cups in. Use your small little light. Recalibrate. And figure out where you're going. And it is decision time. And it's decision time for you. And really, and honestly, like when it comes right down to it, the people that are supposed to be with you on this journey, you will know who those people are. I feel like in the next couple of months, you will clearly see the people that the universe are bringing to you and the people that the universe are taking out of your life. And I want you to roll with that. I don't want you to forcefully keep people in your life when it's clear. And I'm not saying that people are going to go out of your life forever or for good. Like, I'm not saying that. And I'm not saying that people are going to break up or anything like that. What I mean by the universe is going to keep the people in your life that you need to have in your life. You've learned a lot about yourself and about the world and about how you react with other people and how you act towards other people in the last year. You've learned so much about what the universe wants out of you. Wow. So much about what the universe wants out of you and where you're supposed to put that energy. that there are some people that just cannot handle what you're supposed to be doing. Facts. So we have the Four of Pentacles and the Queen of Cups and the Four of Wands. Stubborn, stubborn, stubborn down here. Holding on to something. You're putting a lot of energy. We have the Six of Pentacles at the bottom of the deck. You're putting a lot of energy into It's so funny, you guys. It's like I'm saying all of this, like what's blocking you, the unknown is blocking you, and I feel like what's happening is you're holding on so tightly and putting all your energy into something that you're not totally sure of, that you really don't know, how that's going to work for you, because you're like, no, this is stable. I'm going to put all of my energy into it because this is stable, because this is what I want. This is where my happiness is. With a water sign, possibly, or this could be you just being very emotional and putting all of your emotional energy into really holding on to something that kind of boggles your mind. So the Six of Pentacles is a lot about giving to others. Sometimes, like, I feel like I need to say to you, make sure you are putting your energy and giving to others who deserve it. If you look at this guy, he's giving it to these kids that need food and nourishment. So instead of putting your energy in places that it simply doesn't belong, and you're like, I don't know, where does it belong? So we have the Hanged Man, which is Pisces, again. Eight of Pentacles, Two of Cups, Nine of Cups, Ace of Cups, Ten of Cups. You are in building mode. The Eight of Pentacles is the Sun in Virgo. The way that I describe the Eight of Pentacles is like, imagine you are you're crossing a river, or crossing just a stream or river, whatever, stream probably. And you have to walk across the rocks, right? If you skip a step, if you jump over a rock, you could potentially slip and fall into the stream. Let's not get into details, doesn't matter how, I literally thought, they're going to start thinking about, well, if it's deep, it doesn't really matter, but you could slip, fall, hurt yourself. Okay, we'll just leave it at that. My analytical mind really went somewhere with that. Oof, let's pull it back in, Betsy. You are in a rebuilding process where you have to make sure you're doing it step by step by step and not skipping those steps, because you don't know what your future holds, and because Virgos right now are like, I really just want to know what's going to happen in my future, or I really want to know what to look forward to. Greatness. You have a lot of greatness to look forward to. You have a lot of building a very stable foundation for yourself to look forward to. And in June, if you stay, it's time to look at it differently with the Hanged Man. It's time to look at it in a different perspective where it's so funny. You guys are, I keep telling you guys, it's time to get up and go and really start cutting people out of your life. And you're like, yeah, but I want the relationship. I want to be in a relationship. I want to be with the person. And I don't know what that future holds with that person, so I'm going to hold on to it really, really tightly. The thing is, the saying, if you love something, set it free. If it was meant to be, it'll come back. If it was meant to be, whatever that saying is. It's true. you know, you got to let go of things that you cannot control. And you cannot control people, Virgo. I know. We really like to think that we can. But we can't. And Ace of Cups. I feel like there is so much happiness and so much good for you around the corner. It's like you've been working on yourself and really trying to build yourself up so much. You just want to be loved. And that has been something that has eluded you. How, you know, and if you're in a relationship right now, or married or something like that, and your partner has been kind of seeing you going through this building process and they've kind of pulled back, I feel like it's up to Virgo to really push forward and say, no, let's start this over again. Let's try this over again. Let's start to rebuild this again, you know? And then we have the 10 of Cups with the 9 of Wands at the bottom of the deck. You want that special relationship. You want to be loved. I get it. Trust me, I get it. And when we block ourselves from the 10 of Cups, from coming in, it's like this 10 of Cups is a constant fight and battle. So if you're still being asked, if your body is still asking you to rest, like don't do it in a depressed way. Do it in a hermit kind of way. Really build yourself up. Do the work. And by me saying do the work, like what's the work, right? If you're like doing meditations and you're really trying to ground yourself and you're doing things for yourself and you know you're trying to like make yourself feel good, but it's just not feeling right, are you going through the motions expecting for it to just snap? Or are you really letting things go? Are you really trying to change your mind? I've actually heard people say before, if a Virgo doesn't have a problem to solve in their life or somebody else's life, they're miserable. So if you're sitting in this problem-solving mode, but you're doing it not as the Hermit, but as the 9 of Swords, sure, you're going to be tired. Sure, you're going to be exhausted. This is a really low vibration energy. Like, we don't want that. We don't need low vibration right now. We want high vibration. And how do you get high vibration? You got to let go. And actually, it's so funny because just about a year ago, it was a little under a year ago, a good friend of mine, he's a Leo, actually said to me, you have to let go. You have to let go. And it took me a really long time to figure out what that meant. It doesn't mean kicking everybody out of your life and purging everybody out of your life. It doesn't mean you just like being an ass and like, you know, because we were very savage in May. I will be like the first person to admit I was like, you know what? I'm on my path. I'm doing what I need to do. Don't bother me. And I did push some people away. I apologized and brought them back in. You know, as we Virgos do, we can't be like, anyway. What I mean by let go is let go of the idea of the way you think it's supposed to go. Don't try and control the process. Let the process happen. That's what I mean by let go. Like back to that river, that stream thing. Let the stream flow. Let the process happen. Because if you continue to hold on to people, places, things, pick an element, if you continue to hold on and you're constantly fighting the battle of being happy, that is exhausting. Exhausting. And we don't have time to be tired. No more. Because the world needs us. And I'm not being like if you're cross-watching and a Virgo's been shitty to you, not every, I'm talking to the Virgos that actually need the assistance in pushing forward and moving forward. If you are cross-watching for a Virgo who hasn't been cool to you, I'm sorry to say that. I'm sorry because not, obviously, in every single sign, there are bad people. You know, I'm reading for the Virgos that really need to know that whatever relationship it is that you have had in your mind, or whatever thought process of a way that you want to be happy and the way you want the relationship to be, however that's happened in your mind, and it's kind of been something that you just can't grasp, and you're always fighting to be happy. Like, I'm constantly fighting to be happy. Let the Wheel of Fortune work. Let the Wheel of Fortune do its work, because as we saw, the first two cards, lucky Virgo. But if we're blocking it, and we're not working the progress, and we're not rebuilding, restructuring ourselves step by step, it's going to be very hard for that wheel to turn. It's going to be really hard for the universe to do its job. So, releasing control of the way you think it's supposed to go, releasing control of how, you know, don't let other people treat you poorly and then give back to them. Because you think that, oh, well, if I'm just nice to them, then they'll, you know, flip. They'll switch back to, you know, how things used to be, how, you know, we used to be all buddy-buddy. That's not, if somebody's treating you unkindly or in a poor way, that's your cue. That's your cue to let go. It is not up to you to change that person. It's up to you to change yourself. Right? And and I wouldn't say I'm hard on you guys, but I'm very blunt and straightforward with Virgos, because number one, we can take it. Because we know the truth. And you know that I'm not throwing shade at you by saying it is your choice on whether you choose somebody who's not good for you or yourself. You know I'm not throwing shade at you when I say sitting in the Nine of Swords state is a detriment to your health. Literally, it is a depressing spot to be in, and somebody or something puts you here. So it's time to fill up your own Ace of Cups and stop fighting for that happiness. I do want to say that the Tower card is right underneath the Nine of Swords. If you keep fighting against the happiness that you deserve, that Tower is going to come. This is Uranus and Taurus. And underneath the Tower is the Ace of Pentacles. This is basically saying right here, like the universe just shouted it at you. Whatever is unstable in your life, whether it be a relationship, whether it be your environment, whether it be your work, whatever it is, something's got to change, because you got a big gift around the corner. You have a big gift from the universe around the corner. And if you're blocking it, if that tower's, if you're controlling that tower, you're not going to be able to see that Ace of Pentacles. See how that works? Yeah? I love you guys so much. Thanks for letting me rant and rave for 29 minutes. I always say that Virgo readings, I mean, I'm biased, but it happens. So I have a workshop event in Boston on July 27th. The event link is below. Make sure you finish checking out the May specials. The FaceTime readings and the soul lesson readings are on special for the next 6 days. June 1st, I will have the soulmate readings and the soul's journey lesson reading. Both of those will be on special in June. So that starts June 1st. And check, fearlessintuition.net if you would like to order a reading. That link is below. Also, InstantGo, please check out the InstantGo app. There are going to be some new services on there that I will be working on this weekend, building up those services this weekend. So, I love you guys. Have a really wonderful June, or the first half of June, and I will see you for the second half. Bye.